Monica Lopez here. Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of harsh reality. When it comes to these applications and websites that I just shared with you in the previous video, the bottom line is that you are going to have to spend some time playing around with them. That's the only way you're going to really get to know its full functionality, what it can do, and really honestly, it kind of gets your creative juices flowing, because when you see what the apps can do, it kind of gives you ideas of what to do next with it. But with that being said, what I do want to answer is the most frequently asked questions I get with some videos that I maybe post, or photos, or recognitions posts that I've done in the past. And it's the number one questions I get, so I figure why not show you guys how to do that straightforward and kind of mend the learning curve a bit. So let me screen share for a second here with my phone. Okay, so this is what my phone looks like, and these are all the applications that I mentioned in the last video that I did, that you guys watched. So in case you're going through the application store and you can't find them, this is what the pictures look like. All right, so the first thing I want to show you guys is how to overlap. For example, let's say you're doing a recognition photo and you have a beautiful picture of your coach and you want to overlap a shiny diamond on that. How do you do that? Or if you have like maybe a transformation photo and you want to put the logo of the program on it, how do you do that? So let me show you. I use A-List for that. Okay, so let's go first with the recognition. For recognition, I usually use a blank background, so I'll click on this paint button here and I'll click a plain background. I usually like to use black. Press design. The next thing you'll do is use this crop function. See this little scissor right here? You'll click on crop, and this is where you'll pick up the picture of your coach because you have saved it from Facebook or Instagram or wherever. Let's say it's my puppy. My puppy Sky is advancing to diamond. So I would crop my puppy Sky's face out of this photo, okay, and click next. You could also add like a fun outline onto it if you'd like, a frame. So let's say I add a white frame to it. So there's Sky. Sky is advancing to diamond. So now the cool thing is finding a picture of a diamond. So simple, you simply Google it. You would type here, diamond. Go under images and find the one that you like. I really like this one. I would save the image, close that, and go back to my application. Now here, again, I would press the scissor, go down to my camera roll and find my diamond. There's my diamond, press select. Now here's the really cool part about playing around with apps. I could either do a generic square or a circle or triangle, but if I played around enough, I'd learn that there's actually a diamond cutout. So you would crop that diamond with the actual diamond cutout. And again, you could add fun frame to it. I'll stick with white. And there we go. There's a beautiful diamond as big or as small as I want for Sky, who is advancing. Okay, there you go. That's how I overlap. Now, let's say you're doing like a transformation photo. And you want to add logo. So let's say I pick up this transformation photo from when I did hammer and chisel. Press design. Now, I showed you how to go online and find logos, but if you've, in my case, I've used logos before, and just so you know, so you don't have to keep going back and re-uploading, it does keep a bank of all used stamps that you've used in the past. All you have to do is click, instead of the scissor, you click the heart. Okay, so here are different stamps. Actually, there's a lot of free ones that they give you that you can use to however you'd like to use. But if you click on this clock on the top left, it gives you all the stamps you've ever used in the past. So I've used hammer and chisel before that I got from Google, and you could just place that there, and bada bing, bada boom. Another question I also get is, well, how did you get those that look like cutouts like this? I simply found this cutout online. I didn't make it. I know there are ways to make it. I haven't mastered that yet, but if you Google's your best friend. You know that Google machine? It knows everything. It has everything. If you Google, chances are you will find pretty much a cutout of anything. So here you go, hammer and chisel cutout. Make it as big and small as I want, and you're done. All right, so that's cutouts. Next thing I'm going to kind of go over is Fonto, which Fonto is my favorite when it comes to fonts. So let's start with something new. Here we have, okay, oh, look at my cute son. He's Scientist of the Week. All right, let's say we want to put his name on this. We're going to add text. Okay, so here you see how that kind of blends in. You want to make that pop out. What's a good way to pop it out is that you want to add a background. So you would click on Style, click on Background, and add the background. A really cool function is how you can make it look wide so that it looks kind of like a label. Okay, that's not wide enough. You can go a little bit wider so that it covers. Another thing that you can do is kind of fade away so that it mixes with the background. You often see that being used to make it look a little more professional. Okay, what I really love about this app is the amazing fonts. There's so many possible fonts you could use and play around with. So there's a font you can also tilt. You see how this gets your creative juices flowing, where you can put anything anywhere and kind of mess around with it. You can move it sideways. So if you're doing something very specific and you want it to fit perfectly, you can do that with that function. And that's pretty much it. This is one of my favorite apps to use for fonts. All right, the last thing I'm going to show you. This one's called Splice, and this is how I make my videos. Okay, for some funny reason, what you're seeing on your screen here, okay, let's pick some videos. So I picked 3 videos, right? You'd pick music, so let's go and let's find something. Sounds good to me. All right, so we click on that. Low storage, story of my life. The one thing you want to check on here is to make sure that the format's correct. So if you filmed in landscape, you want to keep it on landscape. But if you filmed on portrait, make sure you switch it over to portrait, because if not, what it's going to do is going to keep it in landscape and keep your video in portrait, and then it makes it even smaller. You want to make sure that you turn it around and it's getting the full scale of your actual video. All right, so I filmed in portrait. I am going to edit in portrait. So here's where it gets a little tricky, and I'm going to take it off of screen share, because as you see right now, when I click to edit the video, what you're seeing on your screen right now is not what I see on my phone. Let me show you guys what I see on my phone. What I see on my phone is this, and for some reason, again, I don't know why it's not popping up through this app that I'm using to share my phone. But what you can see here is what I want you guys to see and really get to know, is that there's so many things you could do here. For example, you can crop your video, okay? You can change the filter on it. So let's say I want to put a blue filter on that one. You could change the speed of your video. So I could either go really slow, or I could go really fast. All right. I could also add text to my video, anything I choose. And then here I could also mess with the audio. So like, you know, we just added music to our video. We don't want the actual sound of the video and the music we just picked to kind of overlap, because then it sounds too busy. So you want to mute your video all down and take the sound off. Okay. So once you've done those things for each of your videos, you can go and edit each one. Okay, I trimmed this one. Made it go a little slower. Okay, and then make sure the sound is off again so that it's not overlapping the music I put. Oh, last one. Let's edit this one. We trim it. This one we want to go really fast. This one we want to add a filter. And again, make sure the sound is off. Now I'm going to go back to screen sharing, because for some reason this part does show correctly. All right, so once we've done all those things, see how we edited all that? Once we put it together, all right, so that's the video that we just created. One thing I forgot to show you is how you can change the transitions. So these transitions, the generic one is the crossfade, but you can always switch it over to fade black. Over here, let's say you're gonna do blur. And then again, you can see the whole thing again. All right, and that's that. The last little thing I'll show you is the audio. If by any chance you forgot to mute a certain video, you can go back here and change the sound of each video. And that's it. Once it's done, you can save here. Sorry, I'm running out of space. Story of my life. But you could go here and save it either to your saved videos or send it in a message, put it onto Facebook or put it onto Instagram. Easy enough. So I hope that helped you guys out with some learning curves on a couple of frequently asked questions I get. And again, the best advice I can give you is to sit down with these apps and just really play around with them and see what each one can do and start to get creative. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. Have a great day.